countries to defend us and to look after us as being part of the armed services. And delighted now on today of all days, the launch of the National Poppy Appeal, to be joined by Tammy from the Royal British Legion. Buonasera, Tammy, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in and joining us today. For those who might not know, who are the Royal British Legion?
So the Royal British Legion was formed just after the First World War. So it's nearly over 100 years old now. And what the Royal British Legion does, it helps members of the Royal Navy, the British Army, the Royal Air Force, veterans and their families. And our main actions are to help them connect, to help remember and to help support. So we tend to bring society together to recognise, remember and support the armed forces community. And that's our main aims in this association. We are part of many things such as the Festival of Remembrance, Remembrance Sunday, Armistice Day, any celebratory days, D-Day anniversary, which we held last year, the VE Day and VJ Day, which we held this year, which has all been 80 years. We're also part of the London Marathon, the Great North Run, and the National Memorial, or Arboretum, if I can say that correctly. And if anyone hasn't been there, that's in Staffordshire, and that is an actual beautiful gardens, which also has the support from the RBL. But today we're here to talk about the Poppy Appeal, and the Poppy Appeal being a big part of what the RBL do.
Yeah, it's a big cultural thing, isn't it? The Poppy Appeal. It's going to start showing up now on news broadcasts. Lots of people are going to be wearing it in remembrance. What is the symbolism of the poppy?
The poppy is remembrance of the fallen, basically, and to remember the fallen during any conflicts. And just to, you brought up the song earlier about we are young and young people going to war. And it's to say that people still are out at conflict in war today. And an interesting fact, there has been, since the Second World War, there has been, which the British military have been involved with, over, I think, depending on which media or which facts you look at, is 76 conflicts. So that is still quite a lot. And people see veterans as the older generation. I'd like to remind people veterans aren't older. We've got veterans that are in their 20s. So veteran stands for somebody that has just served in the armed forces. So it doesn't matter what age you are at. So, yeah, we have veterans which are very much in need in their 20s.
Yeah.
So.
And it's very easy to forget that when you do read the headlines and you see all these articles about, oh, we're at war and people deployed over here. These are individuals.
Yes, yeah, definitely, and families, and we need to remember that. And the whole point of perhaps what a veteran might need the support for is if they have an accident at work, or if they have a loss of a friend, or if they're leaving the service and the support that they need to leave the service to go into civilian life.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking now about those families and they're being in army life, where your days are that they're stipulated. Here's your duty, here's your shift, here's your deployment, here's how you're going to live your life.
Yes.
Opening that gate for the last time and going through it and going into civilian life, it can be a big deal for a lot of these veterans.
A huge deal, and that is very. So you want to know where your money goes for Poppy Appeal. And so we raised a lot of money, and last year nationally it raised £51.4 million. So the Poppy Appeal is huge, and it's only over, as I said, these 2 or 3 weeks now of this November period, or end of October, beginning of November period. For facts, I'm only part of the Haverfordwest branch as the Royal British Legion, and last year we raised just over £26,000. So we're aiming to get a bit more this year. So where you want to know where your money goes, it goes into those sort of things, as in transitioning into civilian life. And there are lots of courses that the RBL sponsor, such as the Warrior Programme, the Battle Back Centre, and they do other courses which increase your personal development or your sports base, so it's recovery of an injury or things like that. They do mobility aid, financial grants, debt relief. They help with both physical and mental health. Mental health, obviously, in today's world is huge, and I should imagine a lot of money. But I will give you an example. of how much money these are 2024 figures. Mobility aid, 2.3 million was spent on mobility aid to veterans in 2024. Financial grants, 12.3 million. And that helped 23,000 people. It helps with housing, employment, tribunals, say if they're trying to, they've been injured and they're fighting for a tribunal. It offers advice and practical support. That's the main thing. It has, I don't think people understand, it has 6 care homes. The Royal British Legion has 6 care homes with 781 residents. It has its own nurses called the Admiral nurses, which are in charge of dementia. And obviously recovery. And part of that is with sport, adventure training, theatre and art. And they develop programmes all to do with that. And I don't know whether people are aware the Invictus Games is hugely supported by, and that is to do with the sport of the recovery of it. So yeah, that is hugely supported by the RBL. And that's where your money goes.
It's so wide reaching, isn't it? If you're a veteran of any age, if you find yourself thinking, I don't know where to turn to next, it's worth finding out more about the Royal British Legion and finding out. So if we were in that situation where someone that was a veteran, how do we find out more about the Royal British Legion? The
main things you can find is literally everything is on the website. It's quite a hard website to navigate. So you can email at info@britishlegion.org.uk or use the phone number 0808 802 8080. And online, in the British Legion, I noticed last night they actually have an online chat function. So I don't know how that works and whether that's any good, but please, yes. So if you are in need of the British Legion, please, just look at the website. And also, if you wish to be part of the British Legion, it's literally £20 or £22 a year. It's very inexpensive. Become a member. And if you wish to become a member of the Haverfordwest branch, I would suggest you contact us on haverfordwest.secretary@rbl.community.
Love that. So opportunities if you want to be more involved and become a member, opportunities if you need that support. The email address sounds like a really good way of just getting into the service and then being directed to the right place.
Yeah, we have meetings once a month, once every 2 months, depending on how busy we all are. And we like to raise money throughout the year, but the Poppy Appeal obviously is this year. And our launch in Haverfordwest personally is going to take place on Saturday morning on Castle Square at 11 o'clock.
Fantastic. So we'll go down there and you'll have poppies available for donation, and that will go towards those wonderful services that you mentioned. And of course, it is these couple of weeks that leads up to Remembrance Sunday on the 11th, or Remembrance Day on the 11th. And on our website, we've got a dedicated carousel, is the posh word for it, a dedicated listings of all of those remembrance services. I'm going to go through some of them now on our What's On feature with the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. There's some great concerts coming up, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I know the Goodick one. I know there's one in St David's and Goodick. I know the Goodick band is particularly good. So if you wish to go, please look at the website. Yeah.
Amazing. So one more time then, if people want to find out more information either about joining you or finding out about the services, what's the best way to do that?
So I would say contact we have a Pembrokeshire, so I won't waste your time with the Haverfordwest one. The Pembrokeshire one is Wales.Pembrokeshire hub REP@RBL community, and I believe that is on the website because that's a heck of a thing, and that's cool. His name's Shane. He's from Tenby, and yes, he will point you in the right direction for anything. Yes.
I love that. And of course, we've also got other things that help on practical levels in our area as well. Just thinking off the top of my head, we've got the VC Gallery locally. There's lots of other groups that we can join. I'm sure there's lots of signposting that goes along.
I'd like to say as well that the Poppy Shop is throughout the year. So you can buy anything Poppy related. I'm actually wearing a jumper now. And top underneath. And actually, if you want some nice gifts for Christmas, I often buy nice lady scarves from there and give Christmas gifts. That's actually on the line as well. I'd like to mention that I don't know whether you've put it on the website. So for me personally, I'm organising a quiz for the RBL in St Bride's in Little Haven on Wednesday night next week. and that'll be all in aid of the poppy appeal. But I highly recommend booking a table. It's busy.
Yes, and it's the St. Bride's.
Yes.
Tammy, thank you so much for joining us and shedding a light on what the Royal British Legion is for those that might not know. They see the poppies every year and think, I wonder where that goes.
Yes.
You have just laid that out beautifully for us.
Thank you.
Talking of things that are beautiful, out of the life of being part of the military, there's typically the families that go along with it. And the Military Wives Choir was launched by Gareth Malone, some years ago now. And there's a song that you want played out for us in just a moment's time. What's your favourite Military Wives Choir song? So
I actually liked when they played the Cyndi Lauper version, simply because I'm an 80s girl and grew up in the 80s, and I like the Time After Time version. So
that's coming up next here on your breakfast show on Purist Radio. Tammy, have a great fundraising couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Allowing people to reflect and to remember those that have been before. And as you mentioned, those that are serving right now for our country. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Trip Tease Thursdays, sponsored by the Giltar Hotel.